Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning. Welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County, Dorothy. A couple of weeks ago, remember we had a show with Victoria Riddle?
Yes, I remember that.
And we said how rare it is that in the 12 years, actually starting the 13th year, how rare it is that we have somebody who comes on the show who are actually Moore County natives.
Yeah, that is a rarity for your show.
So in 2 of the last 3 weeks, we're actually going to hit that chord again today.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we're going to be talking all show about Seven Lakes Dance. It's a dance company that has been in business 25 years. Can you imagine Seven Lakes 25 years ago?
I know what Seven Lakes looked like 25 years ago. There was like nothing there.
That's right. There were a couple of small residential communities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think 25 years ago, was Almond filled up at that time? It was. Okay. My 2 guests at the head of the table are sisters, Marcie Milbredt, did I pronounce that right?
That's right.
And Lauren Tierney. And you guys are authentic Moore County natives. You went to Pinecrest High School.
Yes, we did.
Do you have a large family, just the 2 of you as siblings?
There's the 2 of us, and then we have a stepsister.
Okay.
And she also went to Pinecrest High School.
Okay.
And our grandfather was actually the very first principal at Pinecrest.
His name was?
J.R. Brindle.
Okay. So, have you been together 25 years doing this?
Yes, we have. We have, yes.
So tell me about where the inspiration came from. What is it about your background that had you evolve into doing this? Were you teachers?
Actually, we danced growing up at a local studio here. It's no longer in business.
Right.
And then in 97, Seven Lakes Dance started as a summer program. It was in between my sophomore and junior year of college. And so then it just evolved when Lauren we both graduated from Appalachian State.
Okay.
And then it just evolved into what it is now. So we grew up dancing, and then we started teaching.
So 25 years ago takes us back to 1996?
97.
97.
Mm-hmm.
So the studio that we were at closed in 96, and
okay.
that summer we started, the summer of 97, started like a recreational program with Chad Bean out in Seven Lakes. And now here we are with 5 competition teams and
3 rooms later. We have a 4,500 square foot studio now. We started just in 1 room. And so, yeah, it's grown to be what it is.
And if you're not living under a rock, anybody can go onto social media and
Yes.
see that. You guys are up for how many Best of the Pines awards this year?
We're up for 3. We're
Crazy.
best dance studio, best amateur performing arts studio, and best professional performing arts studio.
When you started, were you just drawing people from the Seven Lakes area?
We were, yes.
And now your reach is...
We have kids in Montgomery County. We have kids in Hoke County. We have kids from, everywhere. We have some that drive for our summer programs from Wilmington. So we have quite a few from many of the counties, surrounding counties.
You have children of your own?
We do
No,
not.
sir.
You have a ton of kids.
We
children.
do.
That's what we tell everybody.
Yes, we have children. We have, 100 of them.
So you guys have, I moved here in 1999, and it was a different community than it is today. The amount of students have mushroomed. Schools have
Yes.
gotten so crowded. So you have seen a tremendous amount of growth both in the demographic changes and in the demands of what the students require.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You are right.
How many students do you have enrolled in Seven Lakes Dance right now?
Right now, we are sitting at a little under 100. Before COVID, we had about 150. And then COVID, unfortunately, as with all small businesses, had an impact.
Sure.
So we're hoping that our enrollment will pick back up this season.
What happened last year during COVID? How could you have dance lessons via Zoom?
That's exactly what we did. We had
exactly what
dance
we did.
lessons with Zoom
Every day.
every day. We literally took, I think it was 2 weeks off, to as everything got shut down, to kind of regroup, get ourselves back together. And then Lauren, thankfully, is much better at the technical side of things and the social media part. And she got us set up with Zoom very quickly, and all of our instructors. We got all of our schedule out to the kids, and we started Zoom classes.
We're going to come back, in the second set. We're going to speak to Melayna. No. Help me. Melayna. I'm so sorry. And Messa. But practicing or doing Zoom classes is not the same thing as being together, right? Mm-hmm. Working things out, understanding each other's rhythms, keeping sharp, right? Yes. So how did you accommodate that? Messa, I'll start with you.
Okay. I think it was really hard to not be together and feel each other's, presence and energy all the time, because I think that's what gets us through half of the year, Right. And that's a big part of it. Being a family is includes being together and each other's
right
lifestyle and every day. So I think for me, trying to get through Zoom was mostly looking ahead to see what is going to come next and how great we're going to be once we're back together, because sometimes I think you need the space to think, and I think that was a great time to think, a long time to think
and process
how it's going to be and how you're going to look at it for the future. So a lot of it was sad because we couldn't be together, but there was a lot of positive things that came out of it. And I think that when we came back together, it was a whole different aura altogether, and it was amazing.
Melayna.
So my team last year was full of about 4 or 5 seniors. So that was super hard, having to watch them not be able to compete. And we had a first competition before everything shut down, and it was honestly heartbreaking because we did so well at the first competition. We were all so excited for the rest of the season, and then it just sort of got taken away from us. But I think with it came so much gratitude. We were so grateful for what we did have, and so grateful that we even had Zoom. And we were lucky enough to have the space that we did, that towards the end of the summer we could get back in the studio and dance in our little marked off boxes and wear our masks. But it was just so good to be back, and it changed our perspective on how much we appreciate and are thankful for the studio that we have in our everyday lives.
So you're 15 and you're 18, right? Okay. I didn't even know the meaning of the word gratitude. I was so wrapped up in my own little world. The way you speak, you're head and shoulders above anything I can even imagine when I was a teenager. You guys would have had absolutely zero to say to me. Because who is that guy walking down the hall? How you speak is magnificent.
Thank you.
So while we're on a roll, let me just ask you, what is this? Because I sense a camaraderie between the two of you. So tell me about the spirit of Seven Lakes Dance and how that has helped propel both of you, because I get the feeling that that's a driving force. Well,
Okay.
You just guys are so impressive. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, I've been dancing with Seven Lakes Dance for 12 years now, and there are girls that I started with when I was 5 years old on the competition team, and we've grown up together. These girls have become my family, and even Messa, who has been here for 4 years now, is she's like a family member to me, and these teachers have done so much for me and have impacted who I am as a person so much. And it's honestly so great, especially the convention world, which is a completely separate thing, but the amount of friends and family members that I've made through competition with this studio and conventions, meeting dancers from all around the world.
Right.
This sport and this art has changed me so much, and it's made me who I am.
Wow.
Right.
I'm very impressed. Messa?
I would have to agree with her on that so much, but I think that so much of what she was saying about family plays into how the spirit is at the studio just in a daily life. And I think that we have so much like joy and passion for what we do. And beyond that is when like our friendships come in, and like I would not have been able to get anywhere where I am today without the friendships and the family and like the support that they've given me to be able to move on and to be like, because everything starts with a platform. And so I definitely think that the foundation that we've had has pushed us so much farther, and that shows you and builds so much beyond just learning a new skill or winning at a competition.
They're like,
They are impressive, aren't they?
they're like two ambassadors.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's like, look what you have wrought. So, sometimes you read again on social media, we wish when we were younger they had classes in high school called life or called managing things, not just geometry or algebra or history or English, real life type experiences that would have application. Sounds to me like what you guys are learning at Seven Lakes Dance is as valuable, if not more valuable, than maybe some just standard high school courses.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
My parents used to have to push me out of the house, begging me to go to school, begging me. And sometimes I would walk to school and disappear for a day or two, and would just go to a baseball game. No, it's true. And I would come home late at night, and my father would say, "How come you came home so late?" And I said, "Well, I was left over. I was punished." Not really. I wasn't motivated. But it also, what you learn at Seven Lakes Dance also takes up time, probably helps you manage your schoolwork and discipline yourself better, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if your time
much
is
so.
spoken for,
Yeah.
you have to account for every minute.
Yeah, so like during our competition season, which like we don't have a break after nationals. We had like a week off before our summer intensive started, but once the teams are created for the next season and we start our season, we have a specific schedule that we stick to like every week. Like classes start at 3:30, 3 to 8:30, 8:45. And that really helps keep us on schedule and for most of us, like with school, if school gets out at 3:30, if our class starts at 4, then we have dance to look forward throughout the entire school day. It's just like, okay, I can get through this, and then I can go to dance and see all my friends,
Cool. What's the age group of the dancers, and is it what's the ratio of girls to boys?
We actually take them when they're potty trained. And so they start at 2.5, and then we offer partner dancing adult classes. So we offer anything for any age group. And then as far as boys, I think this season we had 3 boys. And we're hoping to bring more in. It's always fun. Our boys have a tendency to take more hip hop classes, and we had some in tumbling. So we're always wanting to bring more boys as well as girls into the studio. So yeah, we offer classes for any age group.
Tell me about your staff, instructors.
Go ahead.
We have 6 teachers on staff, including us. All of them are really well versed in different genres. And then we have 2 PTs on staff with us. Last season, they came on and developed an entire competition tech program to help strengthen, to prevent injury. They're there pretty much on call at any time that we may need them because these girls, they are athletes. And once they get into the higher level competition scene, they're training 4 or 5 hours a day, and it takes a lot out of their bodies. And so the PT has been a huge benefit to us. And then we also have our office manager, Danielle, and we have a voice and piano teacher, Ann Dorsey.
Ann has been on the show many years ago.
She's phenomenal.
Many years ago. She knows Dee. I don't know if you remember Dee from my office. I have a picture of you sitting in my office desk, which I actually sent to Nicola. This was about 4 or 5 years ago when you came in with your mom. You don't remember Dee, but she knew Ann Dorsey.
Okay.
You're just going to take my word for it. So when you started Seven Lakes Dance, it was not geared towards competition, was it? It was
No.
just
Just
We
class.
just wanted to keep dancing. Since our studio closed, the biggest thing was, well, what are we going to do now? And we wanted to keep dancing. She was coming out of college, and so it's like, well, we can do it. And so, yeah, and then all of a sudden it just skyrocketed, and one competition team led to 5 and then 6, and so now here we are.
Well, we're going to come back in the second set. We're going to talk. I think you guys just got back from a trip in California.
Yes.
Look at those faces. Okay. So that was exciting.
Yes.
We're going to talk about how that all started and evolved and what the result was of it. Your mom has put some beautiful pictures of you guys on Facebook, and I think very proud. And one of the things I think that you guys get through this type of training is a lot of self-esteem, right?
Yes.
About what you can and can't do, whether it be dance or something else.
Yeah.
Confidence,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And team spirit, because you guys are better together than you are individually.
Yes.
Definitely. That's a huge part of it for us. Dance does it comes with a lot of good things, and it comes with a lot of self-reflecting things, because it's always, the spotlight's always on you. You're always hard on yourself.
Right.
Always pushing yourself to the next limit. But when you said about the being together makes you stronger, but like seriously branching out and doing these things could never have been as easy for me if I didn't have her to like push me along with these things, or I get to go with her to a convention and we get to dance together and we get to finish out a dance together, or they ask us to do the same thing together. And I think that just having the extra push always helps, or seeing me struggle with something, then she can help me with it, or seeing that I'm having a hard time, realizing that we're doing the same thing and we live so much of the same life, that even if she's not struggling with it that day, that she can help me with it like whenever I need it, or vice versa. So
When I was in high school, I played basketball, and no big deal. But it seems like yesterday to me, and the relationships that I developed with my teammates, to this day, I mean, they still live in my brain, my head. What you guys are forming is no different than what we did way back in the 70s and the 80s. No, really. That you'll look back maybe 20 years from now and remember the spirit that you had and the teamwork that you had. And that never goes away. You share that all your life.
Yeah.
right.
We're going to come back in the second set. We're talking all about Seven Lakes Dance. We have a couple of very talented and extremely well-spoken young ladies to join us, and we're going to talk about that competition you just got back from. This is All Things Moore County.
Woke up, the price of up. I just hit them with the low cut, then call my folks up. Somebody about to get poked up, go call a tow truck. All that talking out your neck might just get your throat cut. This a Mack truck, not a black truck. When we move, tell them back up. Click, click, clack, duck. Hella bands, pull up, stashed up. Super facts up. Or you Rosa Parks, get your errands up. Yikes, I play tag and you it for life. Yikes, you a clown, you do it for likes. Yikes.
Welcome back to our second set of All Things Moore County. Speaking with the owners of Seven Lakes Dance. They've been in business 25 years. Melayna King and Messa Smith are two of their dancers, and Messa, you're a senior at Pinecrest.
Yes.
Melayna, you're a sophomore.
Yes.
At Pinecrest.
Yes.
Okay. You guys just completed a competition in California.
Yes.
Can you take me from, because all I heard about was from your mom, and I saw these pictures, and we spoke on the phone, and Amy said, we can't get together because we have this trip to California, and we have this, and we have that. I'm going, what? What is all this about?
Yeah.
Can you fill me in?
Yes. So the trip that we took was on a scholarship that we had received, and I went to a convention, I would say 3 or 4 months before we went to California. in Virginia, and I went to a convention for a weekend. And every time you go to a convention, you have an audition that you are able to gain a scholarship from. So like with this one, you could have gotten multiple different scholarships, as in like team scholarships for this convention, agency auditions, like being a part of their company and all that stuff. So when you receive the scholarship, you have this amount of time to get whatever you need ready for whatever scholarship you got, you get ready to go to California. So I received the LA agency audition. So I had 3 to 4 months to get ready. Like as I got my headshots done, I filled out my resume, and we planned for this trip. And so we went for a week, and I had time to take classes in LA. I got to meet a bunch of people. I got to take convention classes with the program that I was with. And then by the end of the week, I had my audition with the scholarship that I received. And then we had like a closing night gala. And so we just that was like the end of it. And you receive whatever, or yeah.
So how long have you been shooting for this in terms of competition? And this is not just this year. This has been a couple of years building, right?
For the trip, or like?
Just in general, as you evolved, when did you decide that you could be a competitive dancer?
Right. So I danced at a few different studios before I met Seven Lakes Dance. Okay. And I think when I decided to go with them, it was a big step because I don't live close to them. That's right. They're doing a lot more than what I was like used to, and it was going to push me a lot harder. So I think that was the moment that I realized, like, I think if I'm going to do this, I need to be a serious dancer. And I really wanted to, and I really wanted to push. And that's when I realized what I wanted my career to look like. And they got me there. Okay. So, yeah.
Melayna, I want you to talk about the trip too.
Yeah, so I went to the convention in Myrtle Beach, and I received the Team Hollywood Vibe Scholarship, which is the opportunity to audition for their company and for their Dancer of the Year, who travels with them all around the country, going weekend to weekend to these conventions. And I was lucky enough to have received the top 10 out of almost 100 dancers competing for it. Wow. It was a week-long process. We were constantly being watched, and I had 3 different auditions, and they watched us in these classes, and we competed our solos twice.
Solo auditions, not in an ensemble?
We competed on stage, our solo. Yes.
Okay. So it's you up there all by yourself?
Yes.
Is that correct for you too? Yes. That's pretty heady stuff.
Yes.
That's courage, and that's no different than an athlete, hiding out on a 11-member football team, catching a touchdown pass, right, and spiking the ball. You guys are out there without a line around you or supporting cast. It's just you.
Yes. It's completely different than being in a group, because you know that when you're doing a solo, all eyes are on you. But lucky enough, we have our entire team most of the time out in the audience cheering for us the whole time. Our teachers backstage with us, making sure that we're ready and prepared. And
talk about your teachers. Talk about the staff and how they have helped propel you.
Yeah, so I mean, these teachers are like a family to me.
I believe you, just the way you said it. Yeah.
I mean, I've been here for so many years now, and I couldn't have done any of it without them. And I think it separates Seven Lakes Dance from other studios, because it's not like teacher-student relationship. It's like we can go to them if we need them, and they're there for us, and they aren't tearing us down. They prepare us for what's coming while also giving us guidance into what we're going to do next and who we are as people.
Right. Sounds to me like you're talking about unconditional support or unconditional love.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They want to make us tear up.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, for a child or a young person to fly and spread their wings, they have to have a support system.
Yeah.
And it's the teachers. It's also your parents too.
Yes.
Can we talk about your parents for just a minute? Let's talk about mom and dad. Messa?
For me, my parents are like my biggest support system, and I would not be where I am at all without them.
Right.
The love that you get from your parents is a different kind of love, obviously, and it's something that's so unconditional. And when it comes to doing whatever I wanted to do, dance, making big decisions as like not going to college or going to college, or small decisions like what I want to do, like all of the decisions I make are so
Yep.
they're so assured by them. And so
Yeah.
I think that just like with dance, it has been something that I could never get to the point that I am without them, and including my teachers. They have pushed me to the limit and keep on pushing me, and they're something that I never could have expected to ever happen to me. So
If I can digress for just a minute, my very first impression of Messa was she was walking with her father on Broad Street in downtown Southern Pines, around the corner from where your dad worked. You were the size of a minute, right? And you were holding his hand, and you were following him. I mean, you were sideways. You couldn't see you, right? I don't know how old you were.
4
or 5. Okay. Yeah, and I watched him hold your hand. You were just following him, and now look at you today, where you have evolved and come to of amazing transformation. And so you have plans for next. You have your eye on going to the next level after high school.
Yes. So everything that I'm doing, like in high school right now, like the conventions, all this stuff, traveling, is pretty much one, to make connections with people, two, to just get a taste of everything. And so like maybe something that I never thought that I would want to do, like now that I've had the chance to go travel to LA or to meet these people, it changes your perspective on things. And it also, within that, it gives you opportunities to find out what you would want to do next. And so definitely out of high school, I still have another year, but definitely out of high school, I want to dance and move forward with where I am and be comfortable and be very, I want to be successful. I don't want to be like, I want it to be, obviously it's not going to be smooth sailing, but as smooth as it can be.
So what does success look like to you? What does that mean to you?
I mean, I'm very independent, so being independent, still taking care of myself, being able to move on, but know that like what I'm doing is correct and it's been placed in the position for me, and that I can be confident in that.
Do you hope to go into theater? Do you hope to go into productions? Okay.
I would love to do commercial. Commercial would be super fun. I think when it comes to dance, you can do all different kinds, and so like I want to try everything. And then I think that even if I haven't tried it yet, then it's something that I can put in the books, and it can be it can be a new thing. Yeah.
Okay. Melayna, I didn't want to forget you. I want you to talk about your parents as well.
Yeah, so my mom is like the biggest dance mom there ever was, and she knew nothing about dance when I first started, and so throughout all of these years she's just learned to appreciate dance and everything that comes with it, all of the craziness behind the scenes, and she's definitely one of my biggest supporters and doesn't doubt me for a second, even when I start to get in my own head. And she is definitely like, she's a dance mom.
So she saw at a very young age, 3 years old, 4 years old. Did you have an affinity towards dance, a passion?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. There's one story where she said that she knew she needed to put me in dance when I was standing up in the back of the car in my car seat in a parking lot dancing to a song by Pink, just jamming out in the back seat, and she was like, I need to put her in dance class. And I've never played any other sports. Like, dance has always been it for me, and it's all I've ever wanted.
So you're very lucky, because some people spend a lot of their lives and they don't even know what their passion is, right? Yeah. You guys are like very directed. You both have a passion and the confidence to follow it, to chase it. Yes. What a gift. I mean, bottom line is, if you two young ladies are the spokespeople for what Seven Lakes Dance gives, there should be a horde of people go, oh my gosh, we have to get what they're drinking. I mean, because it's really very impressive. Let's come back in the third set. We are not trying to cut you out of this.
No, please.
I
We
am
love it.
just-
Yeah.
They
So-
are our best
They are our best
advertisement for
advertisement.
sure. They're amazing.
I mean, you all can take my show and just do it each week. We're talking all about Seven Lakes Dance, what 25 years looks like, and where they are today, and we hope to talk a little bit about where you're going tomorrow. This is All Things Moore County.
Fall to your knees. Tell me you're fine. I'm lost on you.
Welcome back to our final set of All Things Moore County. Seven Lakes Dance is the topic for the whole show. This has been a very impressive conversation you guys have had. I have to admit I was not as aware of Seven Lakes Dance and what you guys do, but you strive towards competition as opposed to theatrical. But more than that, I'd like to read two testimonials that I think captures the spirit of what you guys are doing. It's on your website. Seven Lakes Dance has not only taught my daughter the foundation of dance, but also confidence, perseverance, and the importance of teamwork. Seven Lakes Dance is truly a family, and we are so thankful to be part of that family as we watch our daughter grow in her passion for dance. And that was from Erin. Then there's another one. It is difficult to express what dance, in particular Seven Lakes Dance, has done for my daughter and our entire family. First, her confidence. Watching her shine on stage is amazing and breathtaking at the same time. Next, family. Dance is where we come together. Also, my daughter has a second family at Seven Lakes Dance. The instructors are not just the most talented teachers, but lifelong mentors. We are so proud to be part of the SLD family, Tricia. So, lifelong mentors, that's hitting the top of the, I mean, you couldn't ask for more, could you?
Absolutely not. We still have contact with dancers from 15 years ago. Just the other day, one messaged me letting me know what she was doing on her dance team at college. We have
dancers on staff that have graduated our program
Have come
that
back.
come
Have
back
come
and they're
back,
teaching
yeah.
for us now. So, and that's the best part. You know, I mean, it's amazing to see what they do, and to hear the testimonials, like that's it's hard to believe that people feel that way. You know, we're so thankful, but what they do is the most amazing part of all of this, and it's so humbling to hear
Right.
what people are saying,
Right.
and to hear what they say. You know, when your kiddos are the ones that are saying those things, it's very humbling.
I mean, honestly, the two of you are stars, and you don't need any of us. Just for you all to sit here and talk, and just you are such a good representation of what it is that they're trying to get to you, because you've got it.
Mm-hmm.
I asked you during the break, both of you, if you had gotten involved in any theatrical productions, and what you were hoping to do with dance, but there's a difference between theatrical productions and competitive exercises, which is what you specialize in.
Yes, we are 11-time national champions, so
Crazy.
that's something that we are very proud of. And yes, the competitive world is different from the theatrical part of dance. However, we do some musical theater dances that we compete with, so that's a little bit along the same lines. But competition, our our girls, especially at this level, our kids are very much athletes.
Yeah.
They are training, and the things that their bodies can do, and the length of time that they are doing those things.
Right.
It's definitely very much a sport. But for the competitive world, I mean, they're putting themselves up there in group situations and in individual situations where judges are sitting there of professional choreographers and professional teachers.
Right.
And they're judging what our kids are doing and what we're putting up there. And they're scoring so well, and very proud of them.
They're like gymnasts in a way.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I have to ask you both, have you been watching the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching it this morning.
You were?
Yes.
What are your favorite, are you watching the gymnasts in particular?
Yes.
All right. So I have a question that didn't even know we were going to talk about this. The name of the gymnast who decided to drop out, what is her name?
Simone Biles.
Yeah, tell me about all that. What is going on there? What's your feeling about what's going on? I've been reading a lot of different opinions about it. I'm just curious what you all have to say.
Yeah, so at first I was conflicted, because I know what it feels like to be a part of a team, and I know how important it is that everyone really give it their best. And when she first dropped out, I was like, whoa, like that's tough, especially on the Olympic
Right.
stage, like that's like the biggest moment. It's very hard for her team to
Right.
adapt to that, but at the same time they're professionals, and I think that she knew that the rest of her team and the girl Jordan who could take her place was going to if she knew that she was going to perform better and score higher, then I think that she had every right to drop out, because it was the team. Like, when it comes down to it, you really have to think about the team as well.
Right.
And I think knowing that at any moment she could hurt herself on the moves that she was doing, like, one of the things that our teachers always say before we go on stage is make smart decisions, be a smart dancer. And,
Right.
you know, when you're on stage, if you see that the stage is too short, you don't throw one of the tricks because you might just fall off the stage. Like, there are things where you have to make that decision for your own safety. And I think that that's what she was doing, was really looking out for her own safety.
Okay.
And I think that the team adapted really well. I mean, they won the silver, and then
Would they have, but some people the naysayers will say, oh, but they could have won the gold. Is that true?
I think there's always an opportunity that you can win the gold, but it's all about your mindset and how hard you push yourself. And in the end, like, did you do your best? And your best is what you placed. And it's all about where you place yourself. So you place yourself in the gold, but the label that you got was a silver. But in the end, you're always the winner of it in your own head. You know what I mean? You always have to put yourself on that pedestal.
So where do you stand? Do you support her decision?
I do, completely. I think that,
Okay.
I was actually talking about it with a friend yesterday. I think that even the fact that she's in that position to even be in the Olympics,
Right.
like, the biggest thing is, like, you already won, like, getting there. And she is going to be, like, a legend forever. She always has been.
That's
Always
right.
put herself there. She's always,
Right.
she's made that label, and, like, I applaud her for everything that she does. And I think that
Okay.
she completely deserves where she's at.
Okay. When you guys both started in dance, do you remember the role models, your early role models,
Yes.
the girls you would look up to?
yes.
Okay. Do you still remember them?
Yeah, so one of my biggest role models is now teaching at our studio. Like they were saying, she came back after going to college, and she terrified me when I was younger because she was so good, and I just wanted to be her.
Wow. Do you remember your early role models?
I do. Since I haven't been dancing, like, my whole life, it's been hard to find, like, that
Yeah.
role model. But when I started dancing at Seven Lakes Dance, I obviously had my, like, professional dancers that I've, like, completely looked up to. And then the first week that I took classes from them, I actually went to, like, a day convention, and one of the biggest dancers in my head, like, that I met was at that convention. And, like, that was when I realized, like, I can actually do this and I can meet these people. And he was there, and I took a class from him, and he noticed me. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure he did. So, how does it feel for you guys to know that you both are role models right now to another whole generation of dancers coming up?
Yes,
It's
for sure.
amazing. It's crazy. I think we take that part, like I do at least, granted for like a lot of the time, because we're so focused on what we're doing a lot of the time and focused on like the older people around us. But then we realize like how many people are looking at us and how many lights are on us just in our own studio.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's go back to some of the just the logistics about the studio. You have a 4,500 square foot facility. Where is it located?
We are on McDougal Drive in Seven Lakes. It's
Okay.
kind of behind McDonald's.
Okay, I know. Okay, I know where you are. And how long have you been there?
We have been there. This is our ninth year in this facility.
Wow. So you're going from Pine Bluff all the way. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Do you take like a flight? Do you book a
We
jet?
have a back road to
You have
get
a back
there,
road?
but
Back roads are great.
You go through Foxfire and
Yes,
come
I
out.
do.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
figured.
It gets easier. It got so much easier.
So, how are we going to get the marketing, what you do, out to more people? Because this is new to me, and not that I'm somebody you should
I
judge it
started
by.
to say, can you? How can we? Can you help us with that?
So I mean, I think just doing things like this, having the students, your students speaks volumes about your program. There's so many new families in town, so many kids from all over in Moore County, and there's such a need. And with the pandemic last year, kids needed outlets.
Right.
And your website is, I guess, the first place to start.
Yes.
Right.
sevenlakesdance.com. Yes.
Do you ever do any exhibitions for people in the area so they can come and see what you do?
We do have a competition showcase
Okay.
that we have at Pinecrest every year. We were not able to have it last year
Sure.
due to COVID, but we have a competition showcase every year in February
Right.
where all of our competitive dances
Right.
show. And then we also have an end of the year recital for all of our regular class kids, and then some of our competition pieces will show in that also. And we usually have it at Pinecrest.
Okay. So you have a very organic approach to growing your business. Okay.
Yes.
So if a parent is listening or there's a student who wants to get enrolled, they contact who? You have classes. Can you talk about some of that?
They can contact our studio.
Right.
And do you want me to give the phone number?
Sure. Sure.
It's 910-673-3623. And then they can also email myself or Lauren.
Right.
And that's Milbredt. So it's MILBREDT @gmail.com. Or it's LTKDance3 and so that's, or they can visit sevenlakesdance.com. You'll see a ton of information. We have our fall schedule out now, and registration is open.
So
We
you
also
have-
allow anyone to come in and try any of our classes for free the first round. So if they're not sure of what they want to take, if they're brand new to dance, if they're coming from another studio and ours is set up slightly different, then they can spend an entire month just trying anything that they want to figure out where's the best fit for them. So
Yes, and we have our summer schedule. We're running our summer classes right now. We just finished with, last week was, this is our last night of contemporary. And next week we have our tap and tumbling camps.
Okay. And the age group, again, they start at?
We start when they're potty trained.
I'm having a hard time wrapping myself around that. Okay, so
Little
it's younger
tiny
than
tots.
So
younger
like
than
2.5.
3 years
Yeah,
old. Younger.
3 years old. Yep.
and
We
they're
even
just
take them
the
in
cutest.
pull-ups sometimes.
Say what?
I said we even take them in pull-ups sometimes. Yeah.
3-4 years from now, where do you hope to be with Seven Lakes Dance?
15-time champion.
Yeah. We personally, we hope to have, we do hope that our numbers, we hope to have more dancers. We hope to be doing exactly what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
Just doing it better than what we've been doing it. And obviously we have amazing dancers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we would love for anybody to
Yeah.
come and check us out at any time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have to go any further than looking at these two ladies.
They are wonderful.
Yeah, you guys have been just a pleasure to have on. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you're both so very impressive. And you also mimic the passion that your instructors and your owners have, because they're very committed as well. And that's something you'll take with you as wherever you go, in
Yeah.
whatever you do. Pleasure to see you. Really.
Good to see you.
It was great.
Thank you.
I want to,
Thank you
yeah, thank
so
you
much.
guys both for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
And I hope that people will check out Seven Lakes Dance.
Thank you.
Because if this is the result, you should be inundated with busloads of kids.
Thank you so much.
This is All Things Moore County. Everyone, have a great week. Thank you.